The invasion begins. The Sephiran mothership breached Earth's atmosphere at 6:43 UTC, its massive obsidian hull blotting out the morning sun over the Atlantic. 17 smaller craft followed in perfect formation, their hulls shimmering with an iridescent energy field that deflected all incoming missiles. Global defense systems, considered the pinnacle of human military achievement just moments before, proved utterly ineffective as each projectile disintegrated before impact. Dr. Ilara Voss watched the satellite feed from deep within Bunker Zero, a facility buried 2 miles beneath the Rocky Mountains that officially didn't exist. Her hands remained steady even as reports of simultaneous attacks on major cities flooded the command screens. London, Tokyo, New York, Sydney, all reporting catastrophic damage within the first 7 minutes of the invasion. Conventional defense systems are completely ineffective, reported Colonel Marcus Reed, his voice remarkably calm despite the apocalyptic scenes playing out on monitors. The UN Security Council is requesting immediate evacuation protocols. Ilara nodded, her amber eyes never leaving the central display where the alien vessels had begun deploying smaller craft. The Sephirans moved with mechanical precision, their strategy revealing both overwhelming technological superiority and a disturbing knowledge of Earth's defensive capabilities. They're following the exact invasion pattern our simulations predicted, she noted, entering a complex sequence into her neural interface. The small implant at her temple pulsed with blue light as it connected with the facility's quantum mainframe. They think they know everything about us. That was humanity's one advantage. The Sephirans believed they were dealing with a primitive species whose most advanced technology consisted of rudimentary AI systems and fusion reactors. They had no idea what lurked beneath the surface of human innovation. Status of Project Artemis, Ilara asked, turning to Dr. Kai Nakamura, who headed the facility's research division. All systems operational. The biosynth neural networks are stable, and the quantum entanglement drives are at 100% efficiency, Kai reported, his fingers dancing across holographic displays. The seed ships are ready for deployment on your command. The aliens' communication broadcasts have begun, their synthetic voice echoing through every remaining functional device on the planet. The message was both simple and chilling. Humanity of Earth, your defenses have failed. Your technology is primitive. Your resistance is futile. We require access to all genetic research facilities. Compliance will result in minimal casualties. Resistance will result in extinction. The cold smile touched Ilara's lips. They're looking for the Helios Protocol, she said, more to herself than anyone else. They think we discovered it by accident. Colonel Reed raised an eyebrow. And why wouldn't they? According to every public record, the breakthrough in genetic engineering that led to the Helios Protocol was the result of a laboratory accident in 2036. An accident we carefully engineered, Ilara reminded him. The Sephirans have been watching us for decades, gathering intelligence, analyzing our capabilities. But they've only seen what we wanted them to see. 20 years ago, a small research vessel had encountered an alien probe at the edge of the solar system. The encounter lasted less than 30 seconds before the probe self-destructed, but it was enough. Humanity learned they were not alone, and more importantly, that they were being observed. The governments of Earth had made a momentous decision to hide their most advanced research and to present a technologically underdeveloped facade. Project Artemis was born from that decision, a hidden fleet built in secret facilities throughout the solar system, utilizing technology that had been developed in absolute secrecy. Ships that merged biotechnology with quantum physics in ways that would appear almost magical to anyone who believed Earth's technology stopped at conventional physics. They're deploying ground forces, announced Lieutenant Commander Diana Chen, pointing to new data streams. Mechanized units, approximately 7 feet tall, with integrated energy weapons. They're establishing beachheads around major genetic research centers. Ilara nodded. It was time. Initiate Ghost Protocol, she ordered, and prepare to deploy the seed ships throughout the planet. hidden systems activated. Beneath the surface of what appeared to be conventional military bases, quantum communications arrays powered up, connecting to a network that had remained dormant for years. In underground bunkers, orbital platforms disguised as communications satellites, and bases hidden in the asteroid belt, humanity's true defensive capabilities awakened. The first indication that something was wrong came when the Sephiran ground forces attempted to breach the Geneva Biomedical Research Facility. Their sensors showed minimal defenses and outdated security systems. What they encountered instead was a defensive grid that adapted to their weapons in real time, energy shields that absorbed and redirected their attacks, and automated defense units that seemed to anticipate their every move. In the command center of the alien mothership, Supreme Commander Vorax received increasingly confused reports from his ground troops. "Impossible," he hissed, his multifaceted eyes narrowing as he reviewed the data. "Their technology is primitive. We have observed them for decades." His second-in-command, Strategic Overseer Tela, reviewed the incoming data with growing concern. The humans' defensive capabilities exceed all intelligence reports. They appear to have technology that our scanners cannot detect. Across the globe, the alien invasion forces encountered similar unexpected resistance. What had been planned as a swift conquest was quickly devolving into a complex military engagement against an enemy with capabilities far beyond what had been anticipated. In Bunker Zero, Ilara watched with grim satisfaction as the first phase of humanity's response unfolded. "Deploy the Nexus Protocol," she ordered. "It's time to show them what humanity is truly capable of." Deep beneath the lunar surface, in a facility that had been built under the guise of a simple research outpost, the first of the Artemis vessels powered up. Unlike conventional spacecraft, these ships were semi-organic, built around a core of bioengineered neural tissue that could process information and adapt at speeds no computer could match. Their hulls were composed of a metamaterial that could absorb energy, self-repair, and alter its properties in response to different types of attacks. Captain Rayan Cade felt the neural link establish as he settled into the command chair of the ASV Defiance, the flagship of humanity's hidden fleet. The ship wasn't just a vessel he piloted. It was an extension of his consciousness, responding to his thoughts as much as to his commands. Around him, the elite crew of the Defiance, all veterans of the secret space program, prepared for humanity's first true interstellar combat operation. "Neural sync complete," reported Lieutenant Zora Mills, the ship's systems officer. "Quantum drive at full capacity. Adaptive defense systems online." Rayan nodded, feeling the ship's systems as if they were parts of his own body. Through the neural link, he could sense the other vessels of the Artemis fleet awakening. 50 ships of various sizes, each crewed by pilots and officers who had trained for this moment for years. "This is Captain Cade to all Artemis vessels," he broadcast through the secure quantum network. "The moment we've prepared for has arrived. Today we defend not just our planet, but our right to exist as a species. Today we show the Sephirans that humanity is not to be underestimated." From hidden bases across the solar system, humanity's secret fleet emerged. Ships that could manipulate gravitational fields, harness dark energy, and move through space in ways that defied conventional understanding of physics. The Sephirans had expected to face a species armed with nuclear weapons and primitive spacecraft. Instead, they were about to encounter a fleet built with technology that had been developed specifically to counter their own. In Bunker Zero, Ilara watched as the first of the Artemis vessels appeared on the tactical display. "The Sephirans wanted the Helios Protocol," she said quietly. "They thought it was just advanced genetic engineering. They had no idea it was the key to merging organic consciousness with quantum technology, the very foundation of our defense system." On the main view screen, the Artemis fleet moved into position, preparing to engage the invaders who had so severely underestimated humanity's resolve and capability. The battle for Earth was about to truly begin, and for the first time since the Sephiran ships had appeared in the sky, hope bloomed in the hearts of those who knew the truth. "They thought we were defenseless," Colonel Reed remarked. a fierce pride in his voice. They're about to learn how wrong they were. Humanity strikes back. The ASV Defiance emerged from its lunar hiding place, its hull shifting from moon-gray camouflaged to a deep, light-absorbing black that rendered it nearly invisible against the backdrop of space. Captain Ryan Cade felt the ship respond to his thoughts, the neural interface allowing him to maneuver with a precision no conventional controls could match. Behind him, 49 other vessels of the Artemis fleet moved into formation, each commanded by pilots neurally linked to their ships. Multiple Sephiran vessels detected in Earth orbit, reported Lieutenant Zora Mills, her voice steady despite the tension filling the command deck. Their energy signatures suggest they're preparing for another bombardment phase. Ryan nodded, accessing tactical data through his neural link. The Sephirans had established orbital superiority within the first hour of their invasion, using their advanced weapons to neutralize conventional satellites and defense platforms. They believed they had complete control of Earth's orbital space. They were wrong. All ships, initiate Phase 1. Ryan ordered. Quantum displacement in 3, 2, 1. As one, the Artemis fleet activated their quantum displacement drives, technology reverse-engineered from the alien probe discovered 2 decades earlier and enhanced through the application of the Helios protocol. The ships didn't simply move through space. They shifted partially out of conventional reality, becoming ghostly silhouettes that conventional sensors couldn't properly track. On the Sephiran command ship, alarms suddenly blared as sensors detected anomalous energy readings. Supreme Commander Vorax straightened from his tactical display, his multifaceted eyes widening in confusion. "Impossible," he hissed as the readings solidified into the unmistakable signatures of advanced warships. Their technological development is at least 3 centuries behind this capability. Strategic Overseer Tela moved swiftly to the primary sensor array. "Commander, these vessels are utilizing quantum displacement technology. Their energy signatures suggest drives more advanced than our own." Vorax's mandibles clicked in agitation. "How? We have monitored their development for decades. There has been no indication." His words were cut short as the first salvo from the Artemis fleet struck the Sephiran vessels. Unlike conventional weapons, the Artemis ships fired concentrated bursts of quantum-entangled particles that phased through the aliens' energy shields and destabilized their molecular structure from within. 3 Sephiran destroyers shuddered, their hulls rippling as the quantum particles disrupted the atomic bonds holding them together. Secondary explosions cascaded along their lengths before they broke apart entirely, scattering debris through Earth's orbit. In Bunker 0, Dr. Ilara Voss watched the battle unfold with fierce satisfaction. "The quantum disruptor weapons are performing beyond expectations," she noted as data streamed in from the Artemis fleet. "The Sephiran shields are designed to stop conventional energy weapons and physical projectiles. They never anticipated weapons that target the quantum state of matter itself." Colonel Reed nodded, his eyes fixed on the tactical display. "And the neural integration. How are the pilots holding up?" "Neural synchronization at 94% across the fleet," reported Dr. Kai Nakamura, monitoring the biological data from each ship. "The Helios protocol is working exactly as designed. Our pilots aren't just controlling their ships, they're becoming them." This was the true breakthrough that the Sephirans had unknowingly sought. The Helios protocol wasn't just advanced genetic engineering. It was the key to creating a true symbiosis between human consciousness and quantum technology. Each pilot of the Artemis fleet had undergone careful genetic modification that allowed their neural patterns to directly interface with the semi-organic quantum processors at the heart of their vessels. The result was a level of control and reaction time that no conventional pilot could match. The ships responded instantly to their commander's thoughts, adapting and evolving their tactics as the battle progressed. In space, the Sephiran fleet attempted to regroup, bringing their more powerful weapons to bear on the human vessels. Beams of coherent energy lashed out, only to be absorbed or redirected by the metamaterial hulls of the Artemis ships. Aboard the Defiance, Captain Cade felt the impact as a pressure against his consciousness rather than a physical sensation. Through the neural link, he directed the ship's defenses to analyze and adapt to the Sephiran weapons. "They're using a form of plasma-based energy weapon," he reported to the fleet. "Adjust your hull matrix to configuration Delta 7. The metamaterial can absorb and redistribute that energy frequency." As the battle intensified, the fundamental difference between the two forces became increasingly apparent. The Sephirans were technologically advanced and tactically sophisticated, but their approach was fundamentally rigid. They relied on overwhelming force and superior technology, but their tactics were programmed, predictable. The Artemis fleet, in contrast, combined advanced technology with human intuition, creativity, and adaptability. Each ship operated not just as a weapons platform, but as an extension of its human commander's consciousness, capable of split-second decisions and unexpected tactical innovations. "They're trying to establish a reinforced formation," Rayan observed through the tactical data flowing directly into his mind. "Standard Sephiran combat doctrine. They'll create a defensive perimeter while their larger vessels prepare their main weapons." He allowed himself a grim smile. "Let's show them why human unpredictability is so dangerous." Echo Squadron. Execute Maneuver Hydra. 12 ships of the Artemis fleet suddenly broke formation, their quantum displacement drives pulsing as they executed a complex series of maneuvers that no conventional spacecraft could have performed. They appeared to split into multiple ghost images, each seemingly solid but only one real, confusing the Sephiran targeting systems as they penetrated the aliens' defensive formation. From within the Sephiran fleet, the human vessels unleashed targeted strikes against the aliens' command and control nodes, not trying to destroy the ships outright, but disrupting their ability to coordinate their defense. Supreme Commander Vorax watched in growing alarm as his carefully organized fleet began to fracture under the human assault. "This is impossible," he snarled, slamming a clawed hand against his command console. "Their ships are moving in patterns our tactical systems cannot predict. How can primitives fight like this?" Strategic Overseer Tella's voice was tight with suppressed concern. "Commander, I've analyzed their attack patterns. They're not following any standard combat doctrine. Each ship appears to be operating semi-independently, adapting in real time to our countermeasures." "And their technology?" Vorax demanded. "Based on the energy signatures, they're using quantum integration systems at least 2 generations beyond our own," Tella admitted. "The hulls of their vessels appear to be composed of a self-adapting metamaterial we've never encountered before." A dawning realization spread through the Sephiran command deck. The humans hadn't stumbled upon advanced technology by accident. They had been developing it in secret, deliberately presenting a facade of technological inferiority to the watching universe. The turning point came when the Defiance engaged the Sephiran flagship directly. Captain Rayan Cade pushed the neural interface to its limits, his consciousness expanding to encompass every system of his ship as he executed a series of maneuvers that would have been physically impossible for any conventional vessel. The Defiance phased partially out of normal spacetime, appearing to split into 3 separate ships that attacked the Sephiran flagship from multiple vectors simultaneously. The alien vessel's defenses, designed to track and target objects moving through normal space, couldn't maintain a lock on the human ship as it shifted between different quantum states. In Bunker Zero, the command staff watched in tense silence as the battle approached its climax. "The Sephiran flagship is showing signs of severe system degradation," reported Lieutenant Commander Chen. "Their secondary power systems are failing, and their weapons grid is operating at less than 30% capacity." Dr. Ilara Voss leaned forward, her amber eyes intense. "Captain Cade, this is Dr. Voss. The Sephiran command vessel contains their central database. If possible, we need that data intact." Through the quantum communication network, Ryan's voice came back clear and determined. "Understood, Doctor. We're switching to precision strikes. Their propulsion and weapons systems will be neutralized, but we'll leave their data cores intact." The final phase of the battle was swift and decisive. With their command structure in chaos and their defensive formations broken, the remaining Sephiran vessels found themselves outmaneuvered by a fleet that seemed to anticipate their every move. One by one, they were disabled or destroyed, until only the damaged flagship remained. Supreme Commander Vorax stood in the shattered remains of his command deck, emergency lighting casting harsh shadows across his alien features. Around him, systems failed and secondary explosions rocked the massive vessel. Strategic Overseer Tella approached, her movements stiff with both injury and the knowledge of defeat. "The humans are hailing us," she reported. "They're demanding our surrender." Vorax stared at the human captain, reassessing everything he thought he knew about this species. "You prepared for us," he stated. "For how long?" "Since your probe first entered our solar system 20 years ago," Rayan replied. "Did you really think we wouldn't notice we were being observed? That we wouldn't prepare accordingly?" A bitter laugh escaped the Sephiran commander. "We spent decades studying your species, cataloging your weaknesses, analyzing your primitive technology. We thought we knew everything about you." "That was your first mistake," Rayan said, his voice level. "You saw what we wanted you to see. While your observers watched our public space programs and military exercises, we built a hidden fleet designed specifically to counter your technology." "The Helios Protocol," Vorax hissed. "That was what we came for. We thought it was merely advanced genetic engineering that you had stumbled upon by accident." Dr. Ilara Voss stepped into view beside Captain Cade. "The accident was carefully staged," she explained. "We needed you to believe that we had discovered something valuable but didn't understand its true significance. The real Helios Protocol is far more advanced than what we allowed your spies to see." In the aftermath of the battle, as the Sephiran survivors were taken into custody and their technology secured for study, humanity began to emerge from its long deception. Hidden facilities around the world and throughout the solar system were revealed, along with the true extent of Earth's technological advancement. The neural integration technology that had given the Artemis fleet its edge was adapted for civilian use, revolutionizing everything from medical treatment to space exploration. The quantum displacement drive opened up the possibility of interstellar travel, and the metamaterials developed for the ship's hulls found applications in everything from construction to environmental restoration. 6 months after the invasion, Captain Rayan Cade stood with Dr. Ilara Voss on the observation deck of the newly established Artemis space station, watching as construction teams expanded the facility that would serve as humanity's first true deep spaceport. "The Sephiran databases have been fully decrypted," Ilara reported, handing him a data tablet. "There are at least 6 other spacefaring civilizations within 100 light-years of Earth, some potentially hostile, others possible allies." Rayan nodded, scanning through the information. "So our deception strategy paid off in more ways than one. Not only did we survive the Sephiran invasion, but we now have detailed intelligence on multiple alien civilizations, none of whom know our true capabilities." "Exactly," Ilara agreed with a small smile. "As far as the galaxy knows, humanity just barely managed to defeat one alien invasion through desperate measures and reverse-engineered technology. They have no idea that the Artemis fleet represents only a fraction of our true capabilities, or that we've been preparing for galactic engagement for decades." Rayan gazed out at the stars, his expression thoughtful. "They underestimated us once. Let's make sure that advantage remains in place as we move beyond our solar system." Behind them, construction continued on the new fleet of exploration vessels, ships that would carry humanity to the stars, not as conquerors, but as a force to be reckoned with. A species that had proven its resilience, ingenuity, and ability to prevail against overwhelming odds. A species that should never be underestimated again.